Man, what a dream. You know, such dreams are happened when you are enjoying a very relaxed sleep. And that I was enjoying here with this energizing mode of this new S Class. Let's check out about the new S Class in depth. Welcome to Flywheel. 2021 World Luxury Car of the Year. The best car in the world. Benchmarking car in the industry. There are a lot of cliched taglines for the new S Class, and it is very true also. But what I'm going to say here is something different. You might have seen a lot of reviews of S Class already, and you might have noticed almost all the journalists who are auto guys would have been appeared in a very special manner. May not be as crazy as me, but they would be in a very special attire, well dressed in this review. Why is it so? It's because this car makes you feel special. That's why it's called S Class or the S Class. Guys, for your information, this car's engine is running. Can you hear any sound? No, right? Small murmuring sound is only there. This is actually a S400d diesel variant, but you can't even hear any sound from outside. So you can assume what will be the situation inside, which we'll check it later. So this is the all-new generation Mercedes-Benz S Class, which is called as 223. This one is a long wheelbase and it's V223, and there is W223, which is short wheelbase, and there is also Z223, which is a Maybach variant. And this one is actually an evolution of the last generation 222, which is the most successful S Class ever. And this is called as the most advanced S Class ever. And last generation S Class, even though it's 8-year-old or more than that, still look very young and well accepted. They're not gone a drastic change on this S Class. They're just evolutionized and look at more different with the same kind of proportion which we have seen in the 222. But still, this S Class is very advanced. It's got a lot of new things to be explained. I already bought the first look of this S Class sometime back from Dubai. If you have missed that, you can check out the link in the description or maybe in this I button. I've detailedly gone through the design of the car and even the interior. But in this case, I'll briefly mention about the design because there are a lot of other things to be mentioned in the features and the driving list. So let's check out the S Class in detail now. So this is the new S Class and this is the new fascia. What I mentioned earlier about the 222 and the connection with the 223 is basically the proportion, silhouette and the form. But fascia, details, everything has been changed. It's having a bigger grille with 3 chrome slack and rather black slack inside. It's actually bigger and it's got a 3D effect also, but it's more evident when you see in person. You can see a glass kind of a portion here, which is actually a radar, which actually used for autonomous features, which I'll explain later. There's a camera for the 360. And this is a headlight which has become smaller than the predecessor. It's more sleeker, and Mercedes has got designation on the headlight for each model like the E, C and S. So S Class has got 3 dots, which is actually the 3-star. Earlier it was 3 bar. Now for E Class it's 2 and C Class is 1. And this is a very high performance light with 1.3 million mirror pixels which are used in this headlight, which is called digital light. It can actually transform information onto the road on the light, and if programmed well, it can even play a movie, but it's not actually allowed. Anyway, this is a very high performance light. It's got a range of 650 meter in high beam, and the car which we're having today is the AMG line, which is launched in India initially as CBU, and it's got a different bumper treatment. It's having a bigger air vent and 2 chrome slack. There's a slip spoiler with a chrome finish, and there's an air vent there. Normally, you know, when it's a AMG trim, it's look more sporty and attractive. But in this case, in the new S Class, there is another trim, which is executive trim, which look more premium and classy, elegant for me in person, which I'll show you the photo. So right now, Mercedes-Benz India is having 150 unit as a CBU in diesel and petrol variant, which is S450 petrol and S400d diesel, both formatic. And it's priced around 2.5 crore both the variants. And some people said it's quite expensive, but I have to say, with the information I got till last week, 100 units from this 150 units being sold, so only 50 is left. That shows the love for S Class, and people are always ready to buy S Class in whatever price they offer. The new S Class is a very long car. It's actually 5.3 meter long and 2 meter wide. I'm mentioning this measurement to say that even in video, you may not feel the size of the car. It's actually designed in a way that it looks very small. It's actually longer than the last generation by a few millimeters, and the wheelbase is also longer. The overhang is lower in this car. and even the rear overhang is over. So the wheelbase is extended so that cabin has got more space. You can see the proportion of an S Class is the best among any luxury car, and S Class has retained from the last generation a long hood, huge cabin, a shorter boot, and that proportion is one of the best, and they retained it. The new S Class is missing a major line from the last generation, which is a dropping line. As per Gordon Wagner, the design chief of Mercedes-Benz, if a line looked good, remove it, it looked better. That's what he stated. So they removed that line, they formed a new crease which starts from the hood, from the headlight and ends up the tail light. And it's a very sharp crease which forms as a shoulder line and goes throughout the body, and it's the only line we can see in the car. Otherwise the body is carved very well. There's no obstruction in the view. And the greenhouse also remain almost same with a chrome beading which look attractive. There's a 20-inch wheel with two sides of tires. Front one is having 255/40 section and the rear one is broader with 285/35 section. And the wheel here is a 20-inch multi-spoke, and this is only for the CBU. As and when the new CKDs comes into India, maybe by this year end or maybe early next year, according to the demand, they will be introducing a smaller wheel as per the sources. So this is what we are getting as a CBU, and it's very attractive. One of the most attractive element on the side profile is the new door handle, which is a flush door handle. It's made in a way that the aerodynamics improves, and it can be operated three-way. You can unlock it with the remote key, you can touch it and operate it. And if the car senses that we are approaching with the key, it pop up automatically and it look very attractive. So as I mentioned in my first look, rear is one area which was controversial initially when it was unveiled. But I have to say again, when you see it in person only, you'll understand how it look with the curves and lines and even the detailing of the tail light. So it is actually looking very attractive. There's a chrome beading which connects both the tail light, and tail light is much different from earlier. It's not vertical anymore, it's a horizontal tail light which is connected to the boot, and all the details inside is very attractive. It looks very crystal when it illuminates, and you can see all this detailing and all goes very well in this car. As you know, as 4MATIC means the four-wheel drive automatic is the four-wheel drive system of Mercedes cars, and you can see both the badges over there. The boot is little more cleaner and simple than earlier. It's more aerodynamic now. It's one of the most aerodynamic cars ever right now in the production. Even though it's a so big car, the drag coefficient is very low. And bumper treatment is simple. You can see the reflector over here, and there's chrome treatment which is part of the AMG line, and you can see two exposed exhaust design element on the bumper. So altogether, when I talk about the design of the new S Class, as I mentioned, it's an evolution from the last generation, but it's got a lot of details. It's more cleaner, it's simpler, but it's looking more elegant. Anyway, it's not as appealing in photos as we see it in person. So if you want to see and feel the car, so go to the nearest showroom when the car is there, have a look in person, then you will understand the beauty of the new S Class. And it's looking very attractive in my opinion. The new S Class is having an electrically operated boot. Once it is open, it's having a very decent size, but it's smaller than earlier by the count of the liter. And it's little smaller than the rivals as well. And the difference is in this new S Class, there's a space for the spare wheel, so you don't have to put the spare wheel over. So there's more usable space than earlier. As you know, the customers of these cars won't take a lot of luggage. They will have one suitcase and one briefcase and maybe cabin bag when they go to the airport. So there's enough and more space to accommodate that. That's the boot space, and here is the electrically closing boot lid. This is the boot space for the new S Class. It's quite warm and hot today in Bombay, so I kept this engine running and with the AC on, but the air blower is in the lowest. I know only the air blower sound will be disturbing if I put it up through this mic. Otherwise, there won't be any other voice coming in apart from this flight taking off, because I am staying in this Grand Hyatt today and they had allowed me to shoot over here. So big thanks to them. So let's check out the interior of the new S Class. So as I mentioned in my earlier video, it's a new design which is a complete changeover from what was in the 222 S Class. And I have to say, this is a new approach, which is a minimalistic approach for the new S Class. The design is a very simple one, but it's got a lot of sophisticated features, which is very high-tech features, and that is mind-blowing. So rather than looking more onto the design of this interior, I'll be going through more of the features. First of all, I'll just mention about the design. It's a clean design with a lot of luxury premium feel. There's a huge wood trim panel which is the center of this dashboard, and is ended with two vertical air vents, and there is a row of air vents on the top of the dashboard, which is very different from what we have seen in any other S Class. There are 4 air vents and it's in a very rectangular shape. Center of attraction is this huge 12.3-inch vertical screen, which continues as a center console with a piano black finish, which end up here in this handrest. This screen is multifunctional with 2 controls. One is the infotainment system, which is the latest MBUX infotainment system, and the bottom part is actually the climate control, which can be controlled on touch. Maybe, which is again a controversial thing, people would say they need to have a physical controls, but I think it get used to very well. And there's a row of switch over here, which is actually again touch functioned, which is for the convenience and some of the safety features they have done it. It's got volume control, dynamic selects, and some hazard lights and touch function, which I'll explain later. Other one is this center console, which has got 2 cup holders. There's 2 phone pads. One is for the induction charging. There is 2 USB-C charger. There's a new key, which is a new attractive one, which is little heavier than earlier and little bigger. And in my opinion, the earlier one wasn't a great key, and the previous one with the key shape was the best one for the looks, but this has the best quality in my opinion, and I like this one. And the finish over here is amazing. There's a glove box over here and 2 USB-C chargers also there. You can keep maybe iPad or maybe bigger smartphones. But one thing missing is from the earlier model is that 2-inch glove box where you can open both ways. Here it's a center one. Other element is the new steering wheel. There are 2 designs, and for this AMG trim is this flat bottom leather wrapped with multi functions. Touch function, which I had explained earlier, and 2 lever slacks are there, which is little lighter than earlier, and the quality is good, but the feel is little plasticky on the edges. And there's also pedal shifters. There are 2 controls. One is the engine start button, and same way it is balanced with the light control, which used to be on the lower part of the dashboard earlier. This is more convenient, and the most attractive element is this screen. Now the way it was actually kept, it's good, but the functionality is amazing. It's got a 3D function which can be controlled with the touch over here. Once you select that, it is amazing. Even the last time a smile has come to my face, because I can see this map, it's a 3D map again, about 10 meter long. That way, that indents is the 3D screen is, and the sad part is that I can't show that on the camera. You can see 2 red light blinking when I show this. That's actually monitoring my eye accordingly. I can feel the 3D function, but it's not applicable on the camera. And there is a lot of graphic options available, the classic, progressive, and all. You can see deeper it will go and look very attractive. So these are the attractive features, but most of the features are incorporated over here. In beginning, actually I had acted as if I am sleeping, but in real I had an opportunity to take a nap and relax in this car when I was shooting, and it is real. I'm not exaggerating, it's real what happened. There's an energizing comfort mode which can be operated with touch of a button. There are a few modes available like refresh, warmth, vitality, joy, well-being. So if you select one and play it up, according to the selection, the music will be played, the temperature will be adjusted. If you want, the seat will be either cooled or warmed, and massage function also will start working, and you get really relaxed. It can be a 10-minute or 20-minute option. So if you set that, you can really relax. I really took a nap some time back, a 5-minute nap for sure. We were not sleeping yesterday, we were shooting all the way from the night to till now. So I took a small break and it was refreshing. So that's an amazing feature. Ambient lighting, you might know how it is, and the new lighting system is good, and a lot of functions are there. Like if you increase the temperature, it will get red color. If you decrease it, it will get blue color. And all these features are very attractive. It's all attractive element. And this also illuminates if some pedestrian or a bike cyclist comes over here as a warning. So it's a multifunction one, it's just not a lighting. And there is also a lot of massage options available, and it's all very effective. Seat can be cooled and heated. Apart from that, the 3D function on the navigation also very prompt. We are staying in this Grand Hyatt, as I mentioned, and you can see this navigation, the building is shown in a real manner how this building is actually is. So that precise is this. It's a very attractive navigation system. Apart from that, you can connect your phone, you can connect radio, everything. And the best part is that you can individualize it to your personal preference. And if you're an owner, You can individualize it, lock it, and can be functioned in 4-way. One is a touch function with the touch sensor over here with your fingertip reading. Second is voice command. If you give a command and car recognize your voice, it select your mode. And third one is number locking. You can select a passcode and lock it up. The fourth one is the most attractive one. These cameras will monitor you, and it finds you are in the car. It will ask to set your preference, and you can set your preference with your voice control. And normally what you do is like the regular commuting route, your kind of playlist music, your seat setting, your steering setting, everything will get activated. That's an amazing feature. And finally, the most attractive one, which I have to say, is this new Burmester 4D sound system. It's a 4D, it's got 32 speakers. And you can see few speaker over here, the tweeter which rotates, the speaker on the top, which is again attractive one. There's a subwoofer on the boot. But what are the other speakers? There are few speakers which kept inside the seats, which give the bass and give that feel on the seat by giving a genre in your back according to the music. And it's really effective. I really felt it. It was amazing. So these are the amazing few features. I'm mentioning few features which is unique to this S Class. And if I want to talk everything, I may need an entire day's episode, so I had to restrict that. Now finally, there are two setbacks which I've seen. One is the fingerprint on this touch screen, which is inevitable on any touch functions, but it get dirt very fast and look shabby, so you need to clean it properly. Second is on a lower volume, this 4D sound system, you can feel that bass little jarring, so it's better to use that in a higher volume to get that feel and avoid that jarring feel. So this is the front portion of the S Class. Okay, I forgot to tell about the seat. It's an amazing seat, multifunctional with amazing support all over. I mentioned in my first review already. And this is the best part of the seat, this feather pillow. This is amazing. There are only very few cars which are developed concentrating the rear. In my opinion, the S Class is the one I know. I don't know whether any other car is concentrated on the rear while developing. That's why they developed the long wheelbase first and then reduced the short wheelbase and extended to the MBUX variant. So this is a car for the rear seat passenger as well, because it's a balanced car. You can drive it, you can enjoy it, you can sit here and enjoy it. All the spaces are amazing. But for an owner or the boss of S Class, it will be the idle seat, which is just bang crossly opposite to the driver's seat. If it's a left-hand drive, it will be here. In this case, it's a right-hand drive, so we are sitting here. So once you are here, the best thing I have to say is this chauffeur package with touch of a button. This front seat fold up to a front, which you know how it is. You might have seen in most of the cars and even in the 222 S Class. The difference is that you now just need to touch one button and leave it, otherwise you will have to hold and keep it till it get to the position. Now the things are little faster also. It's not amazingly fast because it may lose its alignment. It's all functioning electrically. So once it is fold, then this actually recline up to 43.5 degree of reclination, and now the cuff support is coming up. And finally, the footstep also from the seat will come down. This is how it is, and it's all done faster than earlier. In fact, I should have removed the shoe, but since I'm in the shoe, I'm keeping a foot a little behind to avoid the dirt on the front seat. But even then, I'm extending my leg. I don't have to fold it like anything. I just controlling it. There's enough and more cuff support. There's a support for the front footrest, and you are in this 43.5 degree of reclination, means you are in a first class flight. Okay, you can also fold this, and now you can take a very good nap like I started off. Again, coming back to the business, I'm coming back, otherwise I may nap again. So once you fold this, you can touch this eject button and get this tablet from Samsung out. This is the 5th screen on this car. You can control all the MBUX controls over here. You don't have to disturb your driver for a lot of things, and it's quite functional with all the features. I don't want to explain it more because I explained it earlier also. So now there is another attractive feature in this car, which is the screen sharing. All these screens can be shared, and if you are having a new navigation, if you want the driver to know that, you can just share it to the driver screen by touching and grabbing it to the screen. And if the driver has some message or want to share the music or something, he can also do it. You can do it with all these 3 screens, which is amazing. There's a headrest over here which can be folded, and there's a small space which is actually for the fridge if you're keeping it. Otherwise there's a small storage space. And this, once it folds, there's a small seat which I don't recommend to anybody. S Class is meant for 4-seat passenger, and there is a transmission tunnel as well. All the controls for AC are here. AC vents are nice. Once you open it, 2 USB-C charger and 2 HDMI ports are there. If you connect it with your device, you can watch your Netflix or any other OTT movies and enjoy your traveling. I don't want to explain more because I'll keep on talking about S Class. I'll share my experience while I travel in this seat now. Guys, I already explained to you what is the rear compartment of S Class is like. So the features, the way we sit, everything has already been explained. Now one thing left is my traveling experience. So I'll be sharing that only now because I will keep on talking about this car countlessly. I know I love this. So normally I'm a very less spoken person, but when it comes to something which excites me, I keep on talking. So one thing, the suspension. Normally S Class used to get that magic carpet like cushiony ride. So that's been actually improvised in this car. You know what, we are having a 20-inch alloy and a very low profile tire. In spite of being that, even bad patch of road, it's actually floats very well. You can see the visuals of the tire movement when you see this moving on the road. So that actually is reflected on the ride. Some people, for the sake of criticizing, I told to select different mode when you want to experience a better cushiony ride. But what I felt is one thing common about all the mode is that the ride is very cushiony. Even though it gets firmer on sport mode, it doesn't have any damp. It's very comfort friendly. Second thing is the posture and position is sitting here, which I explained through how chauffeur seats and all. But one thing when traveling, it's sit little higher than what normally the Mercedes seats are like in C Class or E Class. S Class is little higher always because it concentrated on rear. In this case, it's little more higher, so I can really feel outside the world very well. If your driver is good, you can really enjoy his driving also from here. Other thing is the NVH level, the acoustic level, which is done in this S Class. It's one of the most quietest car in the world, and it is very evident with the kind of noise absorption which is taking out from the tire and the way it cut the wind and floats. So that way it actually is very quiet, and even if he is doing 120, you are not felt other than in the visuals. You know, the sound or the road noise, nothing is disturbing you. I already told how the engine noise and vibrations are, so that has been also sorted very well. The other thing is I have to talk is the infotainment system here, which we already seen, but the sound quality and the way the sound actually can be controlled to one passenger. If you are the boss and you are only listening to music, it can be concentrated to you. And even the Bluetooth earphone is there if you want to isolate from the driver's attention, so that's also can be done. And this screen is also very good, it's well placed, so you can really enjoy your entertainment, movie or film, and enjoy this floating ride in this luxury barge. So now I can't sit more here. It's not because it's not comfortable, because I'm itching to drive it. So Nandu, stop the car, I want to drive.
5 more minutes.
Oh, come on, man. It's been a while you've been driving.
5 more minutes.
Even the car is asking to take a break.
Car is
It's showing that coffee sign. See you guys in the driver's seat. This is one car which always brings smile on my face, no matter which generation I'm driving it. No matter which generation, each generation always bring a big smile on my face. That's how the S Class is. You know what, the first S Class I drove, a small bit of a drive was the 220 series, the base of all these new generation S Class. Even though S Class is my favorite, that 220 is the least loud one, but again that was my first experience. Anyway, after that I was able to drive a lot of other series, newer ones and even the older ones. Every time the common factor was this smile which come to my face. That's how this car has been built. So hats off to those engineers who recreate this smile to all these S-Class fans. I know one thing, that even if you're a Mercedes fan or not, most of you are S-Class fans. That's one thing great about this car. A lot of them love this car because it actually set a trend for the cars to follow. It's a common known fact. So with this new one, Mercedes is actually talking about the new generation of S-Class, which is modern luxury. And you know what? Modern luxury is actually tech loaded. It is so much filled of tech, you already seen what all it has. And the way they have recreated in the newest form of luxury is what actually admiring me about this car. However, this is a car which balances between a great driver machine and an amazing luxury barge. Another thing about this car is that it is an amazing machine which can balance as a driver's car as well as a amazing luxury comfort machine. So this is what I meant as a driver's car. So in the sports mode, this is so nimble, powerful, and you know, it's actually you won't feel the bulk of this car. It's so nimble and it's so sporty. When if you want, you have different modes to select. There is comfort, eco, sport, sport plus, and individual. And this is what I felt in the sport plus mode. It's an amazing machine. And if you're selecting the comfort mode, it's a very smart, comfortable, soft machine. Even the steering changes. A lot of safety features are also included. Now just I got a warning to keep my hand on the steering. I just left my hand as a gesture, but it warned me, and it's keeping the lane. It is self-braking. All these updated autonomous features which can be used in India is all packed in this car. So I'm not talking too much about this car again because I will keep on talking. So I've been driving this car since yesterday, like in the sense like it's almost 20 hours I've been having this car. Once we got this car, I took a spin first, then I came to hotel, freshen up, and we were shooting throughout the night with the initial film. And after that, we've been driving, shooting. So I've been spending a lot of time without even a sleep, but still I am having this smile on my face, which rarely happens. That shows what this machine is all about. This one comes with an inline 6-cylinder twin turbo diesel engine with an output of 330 HP and 700 Nm of torque, mated to a 9-speed 9-Gtronic gearbox, and the power is delivered to all the 4 wheels through the 4MATIC 4-wheel drive system. So all this means it's an amazing powertrain. There's one more petrol variant available, but I'm eagerly waiting for the mighty V12 to come to India in the Maybach form. I don't know when it will be coming, but it's an amazing powertrain, and I want to experience the petrol as well, which is the S450. So hope to experience it soon. So anyway, it's a long review. I'm not extending more. One thing I have to say, S-Class is an S-Class and always remain as S-Class. And this is again a big proof, which is like making a perfect machine even better. That is what they've done with this. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of the all-new Mercedes S-Class. Anyway, you can leave the opinion about this car in our comment box, and please do like this video and share it to your friends to watch it. And if you're yet to subscribe to our channel, please do subscribe and click that bell button so that you'll get all the updates as soon as we update the video. So until we meet next with a new machine, stay safe and enjoy your life.